Annyeonghaseyo, this is Martin Hill once again reporting to you live from Simchang, South Korea, home of Soonchunhyang University. Of course, this video is brought to you by the Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship and the Benjamin A. Gilman International Foundation. There's your little PBS intro for you. Okay, so this week I thought I would talk about a little bit about just some things I've noticed amongst the younger generation of Koreans that I interact with on a daily basis, whether I'm at school or traveling to another city, which usually ends up being Seoul. One thing that I've noticed is that, as stated before, age is a very big and important factor in how you determine the proper way to interact with people, whether they're older than you, or maybe their position is higher than yours, or they just have some sort of status that is higher than yours. You need to refer to them in a more honorific way than you would to someone who is your equal or your junior, and there's special ways to refer to your junior as well. I remember in the past I did mention that when you're out drinking, if you are the senior, if you're the oldest person there, everybody else will turn their heads like that and drink. But you don't have to, because you're the guest of honor, so you're good. Another thing I've noticed is that just walking around campus here, I've already experienced, like, my language exchanges. Sometimes they'll stop right in the middle of our conversation and say, oh wait, there's my senior, I have to go say hello. So they'll walk over, bow, say annyeonghaseyo, talk a little bit maybe, and then come back. But something new I've been noticing now is that just random Koreans, I've never met these guys before, it's mostly guys who do this, will just, as I'm just walking back to the dorm from a restaurant or going between classes around campus, they will, like, stop what they're doing, stop their conversation with their friends, and, like, just bow to me. Because, I don't know, I look older. Another Korean friend of mine mentioned that maybe they think I'm a professor. Either way, I am seen as a senior even more, so I just have random people bowing to me now, which is kind of cool and weird at the same time. Another thing I've noticed with regards to, like, fashion is that, like, for Korean men, younger age, baseball hats, specifically American Major League Baseball hats, are very popular as a fashion item. Most of them probably don't know much about Major League Baseball when you talk to them, but you'll see the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, and Cleveland Indians the most. I've seen a few Chicago White Sox hats here as well, and Oakland A's, which is kind of weird, but you can get them very cheap here, so it's a kind of a cheap accessory, I guess, which is why I have my Korean baseball hat here. This is for the Samsung Lions team, which I found out after I purchased that was in first place at some point this year, so good on me. Anyway, so baseball hats, pretty common. With younger women, skirts and shorts are pretty short from what you'd be used to in America, but the tops usually cover everything, which is kind of, just different. Something worth noting. I don't know if it's a cultural difference, but it is a difference in fashion sense. So those are just a few observations I've made. This past weekend, I also got to go to a soccer game, international exhibition match between the national teams from the Republic of Korea, South Korea, and Poland. So I'll talk about that in segment number 2 today, because there's so much to talk about. Where we stayed after the game, because it was late at night, we stayed at a jimjibang, which is a Korean sauna that you can pay a small amount to. We paid about 12,000 won because it was a nicer place. You can pay to go take a bath there, sit in the hot springs. They have rooms that are like have sand or oxygen, different themes to relax in and to improve your health. I myself just paid the amount and went to bed because I was very tired. If you want a good night's sleep and you don't like the idea of sleeping on the floor, avoid the jimjibang, because you will end up, if you don't sleep on the floor. Like me, I was fortunate enough to have it was basically an exercise mat with a rectangular pillow. Wasn't very comfortable. I think it took me probably about an hour and a half to actually get to sleep. I did sleep until about 11 a.m. from the time I went to sleep at about 4. So if you're tired enough, I suppose you can sleep anywhere. And more about the soccer game in segment number 2.